Thank you so much for your time. I want to go across now, live and exclusive, to one of the senior-most ministers in the Narendra Modi government. Union Information and Broadcasting Minister Prakash Javadekar now joins us on India Today. Javadekar ji, welcome. I want you to start by explaining to our viewers how the idea of a one nation, one ration card will be operationalized. We're in the middle of a crisis. How soon do you believe that you will be able to introduce national portability of the ration card, sir?
Already, as you know, in many states, PDS digitization is complete in 23 states. So 63 crore ration card users are already covered. And what they will do is, they are already putting their fingerprints to take the ration every month. And this they will continue it, and they will go ahead with technological developments. Now what we have to make is only that one person, you have to issue immediate second card. So when he comes back, the migrant worker will finally come back within 1 or 2 months. So when he comes back, he will get his ration and family will get their ration. So this was major difficulty. Now that has been removed. This is one nation, one ration card.
Prakash ji, the other big announcement made by the government is the idea that even if you don't have a ration card, you can still be a beneficiary of government food grains through the PDS system. Now, from Raghuram Rajan to Abhijit Banerjee, Arvind Subramaniam, Mr. Piketty, several economists in India, worldwide, have been pushing the government for 7 weeks to do this. Der-i Durust-i, it's a great idea that you've done it. Could this have been done earlier? May this have made life for some of those people?
It is not about Der-i Durust-i. It is about non-ration card holders. They will also now get 10 kg because 2 months, 5 kg each. So 10 kg rice or wheat and 1 kg of dal. So this is what they are going to get. So first time in the history, non-ration card holders will also get completely free ration.
No, so that's the question I'm asking, Prakash ji. Could this have been done earlier? The government's now pushing through, but there's a lot of distress, as you've seen pictures from all across the country. People terribly badly off.
Already we had distributed 11,000 crore rupees to the states in the form of SDRF, and all states were expected to arrange for shelter, food and other requirements. And let me tell you, there were wonderful NGO and people's participation in giving food to the needy. So wherever the state governments were successful in bringing all into the fold, there was no issue. Where there was no success, then there were some people who were not getting food. Otherwise, people have given food even on stopping now also. When they walk, NGOs stop them, give them food, and then they go ahead. So this is also what is happening. This is the society taking care of its own people. And at the same time, this was 11,000 crore are already passed on, and from there they are expected to provide all these services.
So now one of the big challenges is to restart the economy, get industry up and running. A lot of the laborers, the workers are going back or have reached their villages. How do you intend to deal with this challenge? You want to get industry up and running, but a lot of the laborers are now back in their villages.
Rahul, this is really, I feel this is the real irony. When Prime Minister was saying that stay at home because industry will start and you will get employment, all you people in media started saying that arrange them for railways, arrange them for buses. Now states have done, center has done, and now when they are going back, now you are saying how the industry will get labor. So you can't have both, no, at the same time. But with 30% labor force they will start, and I'm very sure I have got reverse migration also. In Hyderabad yesterday there was one train from Jharkhand, Bihar, which has come there, or from UP probably. One train has returned to Jharkhand with all the labours of one factory.
So that's an important idea. How satisfied are you with the manner in which India has dealt with the pandemic so far? The rate of doubling now at 17 days, which is the slowest it's been since the problem started. Are you getting a sense of confidence that maybe we'll be able to not have as bad a time as some of the other countries internationally, Mr. Javadekar?
See, what the advanced economies have gone through, be it America, England, France, Germany, Italy, Spain, Iran, Colombia, Brazil, what they have gone through, and India has definitely managed better because of stricter lockdown and at the right time lockdown without any confusion. That was the real factor for survival of people, and no deaths in any comparison to any, and nobody should actually die, but this is what has happened, and India was able to minimize its losses.
Can you give us some insights into what to expect post the 17th of May? Different states have already sent and vocalized their ideas. How are you seeing what lockdown 4.0 could look like, Mr. Javadekar?
I will not, I don't guesstimate anything, but I am very sure that it will be more liberal things, more things will be allowed, more normal economic activities will be allowed, and congregation and physical distancing will be maintained. So that should be the basic two parameters under which the activities will be allowed. In containment zone, definitely the restrictions would stay, but this is what is likely to come up. I am not giving the final picture because that will be decided within 1 or 2 days, because already he has discussed with chief ministers. Already there are a number of suggestions and the empirical evidence. Based on that only the decision will be taken.
So one of the key demands by small vulnerable industry was that the government help with income support, that those who companies cannot be paid be given some kind of salary from the government so that they can survive for the 2-month period when there's a complete lockdown. This has been done by some companies internationally, but hasn't been pushed through in India. Can you give us the logic behind that, sir?
Because today it was only the second tranche, and as finance minister said, she is going to give 2 or 3 more tranches of various labor and various other sectors. So let us wait for complete picture and then we can discuss other things.
Okay, so you are saying that there could be some announcements in the annual. You spoke of labor. The Bharatiya Mazdoor Sangh has just put out a press release. They came on India Today, spoke to us, saying there will be a national agitation against the state government's move to suspend labor laws in UP, MP and Gujarat. They are demanding that your government withdraw the suspension of labor laws.
See, states, labor is a state subject, and states have right to change or bring in changes to the labor laws, but those state governments will definitely have dialogue with all the unions, and so I don't think the crisis will go to an extent where it stands still, because now everybody understands that this is the national crisis hour, so nobody will strike work, but there will be intensive discussions, and that is the fine thing in democracy.
So one of the government's key ideas is Atmanirbhar Bharat. Questions are being asked, how is this idea different from the Make in India idea that the government's been pushing? What exactly, according to you, is the definition and the concept behind an Atmanirbhar Bharat?
I'll tell you, what is Make in India? Make in India is inviting people not only of Indian origin but others also to come, invest, innovate and make in India and sell with pride as made in India. So that is the whole vision of Make in India. So that is a small part of the story than Atmanirbhar Bharat. Atmanirbhar is what Mahatma Gandhi used to say, Swavalambi Bharat, but it is not exclusivist or it is not isolationist. It is a wider perspective of life and development of the nation, where you are making yourself ready, less import dependent. That is what the key is.
Sir, last time the government tried major structural reform in the area of land acquisition, you came under political pressure. The government ultimately had to dilute a lot of its original intention. How certain are you that this time when you announce land acquisition changes or changes in labor laws that you will be able to stay the course?
Actually, yes, central government that time withdrew the amendments, but it left it to the states. And really you should find out what states have done. Even the Congress-run states have accommodated industries, how they have accommodated, how they were given land. So it is interesting case when in the peace time you can make peace out of it.
Sir, as a key member of the Modi government, what is your idea about how we can ensure that life starts returning to a new normal, industrial activity can kickstart, offices can reopen, and yet at the same time we ensure that this doesn't lead to a major increase in the number of COVID-19 cases?
See, I think the normalcy will return sooner than later, and the congregations will always not be allowed at this stage, because we are seeing how other countries are also opening up and what is the result. But I think that the governments are progressive and Modi ji thinks beyond the normal vision, goes to the world vision also and takes cues from it and then tailors its course of action, and therefore they will definitely bring in this new normal very soon. And new normal is essentially physical distancing, washing hands regularly, and hygiene is what the whole thing is about.
So how do you respond to opposition criticism which says the government has its priorities wrong? Sitaram Yechuri said yesterday that 7,500 rupees should be given directly into the accounts of those who've been impacted by COVID-19, those who are non-taxpayers. P. Chidambaram, the former finance minister, asking for the same, and Mamata Banerjee
already,
said, sir,
yeah,
Mamata Banerjee said it's a big zero.
We have given double than that. We have given double than that, because in every farmer's 9 crore farmers accounts 2,000 rupees have been credited. In 20 crore women account 1,500 rupees are credited, 500 each for 3 months. So 2 have already gone. Now third is we have already given 3 cylinders free to 8 crore women. That means that makes it 2,500 again. And at the same time other benefits to senior citizens and Divyangas and other 1,000 each, and the construction workers 5,000 each already, because that 31,000 crore have been released by the center, but states have yet to distribute, or somewhere they have started distributing. So all in all put together we have, and now today we have given Revdi Patliwala 10,000 rupees. It's easy credit and it's very important credit. It is just a right beginning of the scheme. So we are not giving 7,500 but double the amount.
Finally, can you give us some insights into what more to expect in the next couple of press conferences, Javadekar ji?
No, that for us also, let us keep it as attraction. But there are many good schemes coming up, that I can assure.
Okay, I'll leave it over there. I know you have to rush into a meeting. For joining us, Mr. Prakash Javadekar, thank you so much. Really appreciate it.